maybe it's time to buy an old car.
Do not buy a new car.
Whatever you do not buy a new car.
New cars suck.
Old cars are actually better than new ones.
The more analog I want to go with everything.
Millions of Americans are switching back to old cars, and everyone knows why. Before we get started, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are going to 10,000 subscribers.
The more they try to force us to integrate technology into every aspect of our lives, to include our vehicles so that they can monitor us and the way that we drive, the more analog I want to go with everything. And I'm absolutely here for it. I'm ready for it as a Gen Xer. Take me back. Let's go.
We just don't need your nonsense. No, thank you.
So your vehicles will now be spying on you, and not just spying on you with video and audio surveillance, but they're going to be sending out information to local police departments. They're going to be sending out information to your car insurance company, telling them how fast you drive, how fast you go around corners, or how often you hit the brakes heavily so that they can raise the rates of your insurance. And if you don't believe that, here's just a few proofs. In 2021, the U.S. government passed legislation that by 2027, all of this information, all of this technology must be in all vehicles sold in America. And as you can see over here, it is already being done. It's already being implemented. Folks, you're now being spied on by your own car. Welcome to America. Late stage capitalism at its finest. And you know how these companies are working together? Because they're all owned by the same three companies. The car companies and the insurance companies and the tech companies are all owned by BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. You're welcome.
Many new cars have this feature that I'm going to call the Eye of Sauron. This is a driver monitor system that watches your eyes to see what you're looking at if you're paying attention, all of that. To make things even worse, you can't truly fully disable this. You can disable some of the warnings, but it'll always be watching you. You pair that with the fact that the automakers also have your GPS coordinates at all times. And now you can see why I call this the Eye of Sauron. They're always watching. And finally, this version's very easy to see, but automakers are looking to maybe put some driver monitors up in this area, hide it in the dash, maybe somewhere in the steering wheel. In the future, you won't be able to tell that your car has it, so maybe it's time to buy an old car.
Modern cars are essentially surveillance devices that constantly collect and transmit data about you, and are often unreliable due to complex electronics and dependence on the manufacturer's servers. Switching to older cars is therefore a perfectly reasonable way to regain privacy and control.
I always hear people say, oh, the car is old, you should upgrade, get a new one. Old cars are actually better than new ones, and nobody wants to admit it. I'm a car dealer and I see people make this mistake all the time. You already own your car, it's running great, it's reliable, it's simple, no monthly payments, and if something breaks, cheap, simple, and quick fix. And people still think new cars are better. Why? Because it has Apple CarPlay? I bought this Honda Civic as a trade-in. It's a 15-year-old car. Would you believe me if I told you that this car had 340,000 kilometers on the dashboard? Look at the condition of the car.
Look at this.
Now look at the new cars. They're not even that reliable anymore. The hybrids, the turbos, all the tech inside. They literally put TVs inside the car. Even the newer Hondas with the 1.5 turbo engines, they're literally less reliable than the older ones. For sure there's exceptions. Some brands are doing better now than they ever did. But I'm speaking in general. Old cars were simple and built to last. Follow me for more videos on the car industry from a car dealer.
Do not buy new Mercedes. Buy old.
Later does not mean it's better. This is Brandon Green, owner of Gold Element Auto Works. And if I've never told you anything else, if you've never listened to any other of my videos, you need to listen to this one. Just because the car is newer does not mean it is better than the older versions. When it comes to Mercedes, their newer vehicles are not built the same. They don't invest the same money into their research and development. You have better technology. You have a little bit more horsepower and torque. You have better exterior designs and sometimes interior designs, but the quality itself has gone down. They have put less into their vehicles because it's all about profit margins, and they are trying to put the least that they can into it and get the maximum profit. You got to remember that this is all about profit. You think it's because they care about the customer. No, they study the customer. They try to meet their needs, but they try to do so the most efficient way financially. And so they are cutting back, just like all car manufacturers. They're cutting back, trimming back the costs and expenses regarding production. And so they are trying to maximize. If you look at how much cars cost back then, I know inflation, cost of living, things of that nature has changed. It's all about perspective, right? And ratios, you know, what the dollar is worth then versus what it's worth now. They can charge more now than they could back then. But the fact of the matter is this: you get less for your money now than you did back then. That's why I am a fan of older Mercedes. You can always integrate new technology into an old Mercedes. But what you can't put into a new Mercedes is quality. Motors that last, transmissions that last. All these things have been compromised for profit. So keep that in mind, guys. That's why you're seeing a lot of these newer Mercedes. They naturally just depreciate anyways. All luxury vehicles depreciate. But these are depreciating in a record way, a way that's not normal because the reliability is not there. They're overcharging and then they're underperforming. So you have to keep that in mind. The newer motors, the twin turbos, they're not that good. A lot of power and torque, but they don't have the durability and they don't have the longevity. They're failing. They're becoming way too expensive to maintain, and people are selling these things and getting rid of them as soon as possible. So don't be a victim. Do your research. Understand that these Mercedes that are newer, that look better, that look incredible on the road, are not built like they used to be. So just know that when you're walking into the door, all right? Don't get scammed, all right? Be careful.
New cars suck. Glass headlights versus plastic. I can take this whole bumper and shake it, but on the Celica, I can't. It's just built better. The throttle in my Celica is driven by this cable here, so if I pull it, I can rev up the engine. So that means the Celica has instant throttle response. That's something I just can't do with this car, which is electronically driven. This car was literally made before I was born, and I was 10 when this car came out. New cars are too quiet, too smooth, too perfect, and that really disconnects you from the car. But with this thing, you don't even get an airbag. A lot of new cars you can't even buy as a manual anymore. They took away the option. But in the 90s, some cars you couldn't even get as an automatic. Plus, look at the interior. It's so simple and it just works. There's no massive screen going across the whole dashboard. What even is this? So moving forward, I'm gonna lean more towards buying used cars. A lot of new cars are trying to be luxury and sporty at the same time, and it just kind of ruins it. So these cars, I like that they're just purely sports cars and they don't try to be luxury.
Older cars are often more reliable thanks to their materials and construction, and electronics were almost absent, making them easier to repair and less prone to complex failures. Many 2000s models easily reach hundreds of thousands of kilometers even with imperfect maintenance.
What's up, America? Do not buy a new car, because starting 2027, every new car in the United States will be required by law to have tech that puts constant surveillance on the driver. Not only watching you, but listening to your conversations as well. And if the vehicle determines that you're a danger on the road, it will turn your car off. So by 2027, the law states, quote, every new passenger vehicle sold in the United States must include technology that constantly monitors the driver via AI, cameras, and sensors, and can automatically shut down or limit the car if the system decides you're not sober or fit to drive. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is creating new federal motor vehicle safety standards requiring, quote, advanced impaired driving prevention technology powered by AI tools and systems. They state that the technology must now passively monitor the driver at all times. If the system detects a problem, it can prevent the car from starting or limit its speed and operation while driving. So let's say you're not up and you just decide to close your eyes and stretch. Does it think you're up and it'll stop the vehicle while you're driving? The law states that this is not a remote government kill switch, but the decision happens on board via AI and sensors. So basically, whatever technology they put in there, it's a government kill switch. Now, older cars obviously will be unaffected, but cars 2027 or after will all have this shit. So a lot of people say that this is government overreach, and later on, these tools will be used against the average average driver, especially if it taps into your conversations and the government gets a hold of those conversations and finds out what you're talking about politically. Or at least that's the fear coming up in the future. Now you might understand why data centers are going up all over the country, everywhere, because everything you do is going to be monitored coming up here, every single thing.
Now, I'm no theorist, but don't you think it's a little bit strange at the same time that they announce 2027 new vehicles are going to be scanning your eyeballs off with AI, and there's going to be sensors in the steering wheel, and you got to put both your hands on the wheel at the same time? This is already happening in the UK, otherwise your car will shut off. Don't you think it's a little bit strange that while that's happening, a spontaneous oil shortage is happening, which is making them add more ethanol, or this is the excuse to add more ethanol to the gas, which is horrible for old engines. And then all these junkyards are burning up. Have you not heard? There's been like a bunch of big giant junkyards that have caught on fire randomly. So all the parts, all the old parts for the old cars burning up. The new gas could significantly shorten the lifespan of the old vehicles that are on the road. So all the people who said, I'm just going to keep driving my 1990, whatever, like, I agree, that's cool, but you're going to have to figure out how to get ethanol out of the freaking gas. Otherwise, it's going to prematurely gimp your engine. Furthermore, at the same time that all that is happening, people think you're going to be able to just like jailbreak your car and turn off all that AI crap, not knowing a lot has changed in the last few years for the automotive industry. If you alter something in your computer system of these new vehicles, it immediately sends a tampering notice to like the cloud of the manufacturer of your vehicle and can either stop your insurance or disable the car if you've affected it in a certain type of way. Look it up, dude. They've passed all these laws. So the walls are closing in on, I guess, controlling our modes of transport. Eventually, I think they all want us in a smart bus anyway, hooked up to the AI railroad. I mean, really, this is what's coming around the corner. So why aren't I scared? Because that's a bit of a scary thought, right? Being ruled by AI, all the old cars are gone. We're in universal basic income. It's a total shitstorm. Because I have true, full, unwavering faith that in the end, the good guys win. I do think it's going to get weirder between now and then. 100%. That's not but something strange is seriously kicking off, man.
Will 2027 be the slowest year for new car sales ever? And why do I say that? Because I've said it to you earlier in previous videos that AI will be taking control of everything in your vehicle, and that includes everything that you do. And once again, this falls within the federal guidelines that all new vehicles in the year 2027 are required to have what's called federal surveillance technology. And this is mandatory. So basically, once again, everything you do in your vehicle, from sneezing to drinking to eating to anything that you like to do, they will be able to see it. And that also includes your driving habits. If you like to speed, jam the brakes, talk while you drive, everything. Have a look at this technology that's in the brand new Infiniti.
Horror. In the USA, more and more new cars are being equipped with cameras and AI that don't just monitor your gaze, but can see and transmit data about everything you do inside the cabin. There's almost no privacy left behind the wheel.
5 reasons why I drive a 20-year-old paid-off car instead of getting a new one. I'm Taylor, and I share the imperfections of my life, like how I drive a 2006 Toyota Camry. I was gifted this car over 10 years ago, already paid off, and here's why I keep it instead of buying a new car. Number 1, I don't have a car payment, which allows me to put that money toward investing for retirement and saving for my wedding instead. Number 2, I upgraded my stereo years ago so I can still listen to music and podcasts whenever I want. Number 3, my car is simple. There aren't a ton of gizmos and gadgets. It's a very minimal car, and I like the simplicity of it. Number 4, if someone were to accidentally bump into my car and scratch it, I would be a little bummed, but not like I would be if my car was brand new. My car has plenty of paint chips and random scratches that I've just accepted at this point. Number 5, being debt-free is a great feeling. When I paid off my student loans 5 years ago, I learned just how stressful having debt can be. Right now, I would rather be debt-free driving around my grandpa car than in debt driving something else. One day I'll get myself something a little more modern with upgraded safety features, but for now, this car works great. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments.
I gotta be honest, bro actually got a point.
I drive a 2000 Chevy Tahoe, right? Over 200,000 miles on it. And my brother was like, Josh, it's time to get a new car. Why don't you get like a Mercedes, like a new BMW or something? You got the money for it. I said, why would I do that? Like, I own this car outright, right? It doesn't give me any issues. It's durable. If I get in an accident, this thing is a tank. It ain't going nowhere. Plus, if something goes wrong on this car, bro, it ain't hard to fix. Like, if something goes wrong on a Mercedes, you're gonna pay like $2 to $5 grand, bro. If something goes wrong in my 2000 Chevy Tahoe, I just gotta pull the switch. Like the ABS, bro. It was running like nonstop. It wouldn't turn off. You know how I got to turn off? Me and my boy went in there and pulled the fuse. That was it. Pulled the fuse, bro, and waited till I could repair it. That's all we did. That's all you gotta do. You can go in this car and just pull things out. Fix things. You can go back in. It don't take too long, bro. It's all right here. It's a real car, you know? A Mercedes is like a spaceship, bro. You need like NASA engineers to go in there and repair that thing, bro. With this, you just need me and my buddy, man. And like a pack of beer.
Reasons why classic cars are better than modern cars, part 3. Real American steel, Chinese plastic. Real chrome, fake chrome.
Old cars were often built stronger than the newer ones are. Look at my old Celica. Metal engine parts, not plastic. Many have solid metal frames that 41 years later are still rolling down the road. Instead of a fuel injection system with thousands of dollars of parts, a simple carburetor you could rebuild for $100. Sure, they get worse gas mileage, but for thousands of dollars, you can buy an awful lot of gasoline. And lastly, because cars were more standardized in the past, you can still get parts for them, because many of them use the same parts.
A perfect example of an inexpensive, reliable old car. It's simple, durable, and doesn't require expensive repairs. And you know, in many ways, I like the design of old cars better than the design of new ones.
So I just learned that they replaced 30 dirty jobs with AI, and nobody's really even talking about it. Everybody thought it would be the code writers, the spreadsheet guys, that would be replaced with AI first. Nope, wrong. Heidelberg Building Materials, they produce 60 to 70% of all the cement used in Maryland alone. Their large quarry in Union Bridge, Maryland, just bought 30 autonomous dump trucks. Those are quarry trucks, completely autonomous. They're gonna drive, dump, load, unload, everything, completely AI controlled. So option A is a driver, $70,000 to $80,000 a year, CDL, benefits package, supports a family, has needs, is a human. Or AI truck, none of the above, doesn't even ask for a break. That money goes straight up to the CEOs, the boardroom, never comes back in the form of a job or raises. Pay attention, y'all. This is pretty big.
Whatever you do not buy a new car. Do not buy a new car. You need to listen to this now. So starting in 2027, every single vehicle is going to be equipped with this AI technology that's going to be able to read your face, your eyes, and listen to every conversation you have. They just passed a law, and it's going to start in 2027. Doesn't matter, you know, what vehicle you're looking at, this is going to have this technology in it. So basically what it's going to do is it's going to read your face and scan your face. And if you happen to look like you are looking away from the road, or if it may think that you're impaired, it's going to shut the car off immediately. Or it will not allow your car to start, for one. But if you are driving and let's say you look away from the windshield for 5 seconds, you're looking at, you know, scenery or whatever the case may be, it's going to immediately deactivate your vehicle, and it's not going to restart it for X amount of hours. It's also going to have technology that listens to your conversation. Now, if you're having a conversation that may be a little controversial to what the law may think, it's going to automatically alert the police that this conversation is, let's say, of high alert. What it's then going to do is send that little conversation, that script, immediately to the local police department, whatever police department is closest to the vehicle, and the police are then going to go through that footage, and they could be knocking on your door. So I think that this is absolutely ridiculous, very scary, extremely controlling. I mean, if you think that what they're doing now is controlling, this is hitting another level. Therefore, if you're looking to buy a new vehicle in the next 6 to 10 months, I highly recommend you look at vehicles 26 and below, because I mean you're riding a really thin line if you purchase a vehicle in 2027. It's going to make the market, I believe, the car market tank. This is extremely scary, extremely intrusive, and like I said, the bill has already been passed by Trump. So just another thing that we have to look out for. Our country is becoming controlling. They are controlling every part of our entire existence, and they're doing it so quickly. I mean, they're just hitting all areas of our life, and they're taking away every ounce of freedom that we have. Chime in, let me know your thoughts on this.
A car that constantly scans your face, tracks your eyes, and also listens to every conversation so that at the slightest suspicion it can shut off the engine or immediately send the recording to the police. This is already digital concentration camp level. Freedom is disappearing way too fast.
You know that feeling when you drive an old car and it's I don't know. Me personally, I love driving old cars. It's such a cool feeling to have. What do you mean, dude? What do you mean this is old? This car came out a year after I was born. Look, it even has a little nozzle thing right here to switch the music. That's so sick. Gotta love the IS, you know what I mean? Gotta love the IS.
Was it that hard? That simple.
Why is it always the old cars that have the cool features? This is the 1998 Buick LeSabre. It has a bench seat in the front. Couch style seats. I mean, look at how nice that is. These seats tilt back and forth. The seats, the whole thing tilts. Look at that. Thing had traction control back in 1998. That's crazy. It also had a air ride system. All the shocks have these little sensors in them. You have steering wheel controls, but you could also control the climate control from the steering wheel. Why don't we have that anymore? New cars have the touch screens and all that kind of stuff, but you don't get a steering wheel where you can control your air temperature. That's absolutely wild. And then the fact that this thing has double vanity mirrors. Why don't we don't get double vanity mirrors? So that way you can put the sunshade all the way around and block out all the sun you need. The only thing that disappoints me is that this is not a pull-out cup holder area. Actually, I think the cup holder thing no longer works anymore, unfortunately. Oh, actually, it's supposed to sit like that. It's a little jinkety, but that's how it's supposed to work.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next videos.